Okay, so today we're going to take a deep dive
Yeah.
into a kind of weird story, I think.
Okay.
You know how Elon Musk bought Reddit a little while back? I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw this, but
Oh, yeah.
right after he bought it,
Sure, he did.
he went on and he just like posted the letter X
Oh, wow.
to like a bunch of different subreddits. Just the letter X.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
And that kind of set off like a chain reaction
Really?
where like all these subreddits were like, no way we're not having this.
Oh, wow.
And they just like banned the letter X from their subreddits.
Interesting.
So what
was the thinking behind banning it?
Well, that's kind of what we're going to get into today.
Okay.
But it's a really interesting story because on the surface, it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, haha, Elon Musk just posts the letter X everywhere.
Right.
But it really gets into like these
Sort
deeper
of
issues of like,
the power dynamics.
yeah, the power dynamic between platforms and community, between online communities, and also like the power of symbols.
The symbolism of things, yeah.
So
what's the deal with him and X?
Yeah, like what is it with Elon Musk and the letter X? It's almost like he's obsessed with it.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the stuff he does.
You've got SpaceX, and then
like every company name has X in it.
yeah, he changed Twitter's name to just like X.
Yeah, just X. It's crazy.
Like his kid's name.
Yeah.
Like they all have X in their names.
Oh, right.
It's pretty wild.
What do you think is the meaning there? I mean, do you think it's branding? Or do you think there's like a deeper meaning to X?
It's got to be some kind of branding thing, right?
Totally.
I mean, like he's definitely trying to put his own stamp on things.
Right.
But also I think there's something about X like as a symbol
Yeah.
that just represents like the unknown.
Yeah, like the future.
Or like the future or like the cutting edge.
Some mysterious.
Yeah, and I think he's trying to cultivate that image.
Mm-hmm.
So when he comes in and like posts X all over Reddit,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like a way of him saying,
Like, I own this now.
I'm here now.
Yeah, this is mine.
This is mine. It's like
Them rubbed people the wrong way.
Rub people the wrong way for sure.
Especially on Reddit, where it's like they've always prided themselves on
Being independent.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're like, we're our own thing.
Exactly.
We don't want to be associated with any,
with corporations or billionaires.
with any of that.
Yeah. So what did they do about it?
Well, they did some pretty creative stuff.
Okay.
There were some subreddits that like just completely banned the letter X.
Like you couldn't even type it.
You couldn't even type it, yeah.
Really?
So people had to like find creative ways to talk about things.
Workarounds?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then there were other subreddits that like replaced every X with a Z.
I saw that. That's so
It's like super confusing to read.
I bet.
Especially if you weren't in on the joke.
Right.
And then there were even some subreddits that like started using emojis
Really?
instead of X.
Oh, wow.
So it was like they were having this like visual conversation.
That's so creative.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
It really is.
But I think it shows
It's interesting
commitment
how
to
much Reddit communities really value
their independence.
their independence, yeah,
Yeah.
and like their own way of doing things.
Exactly, and their ability to like adapt and respond to things.
Right, like they weren't just going to sit there and take it.
Yeah, and it wasn't like an angry response. It was
Yeah.
kind of like playful and funny.
Yeah, it was more like, we're going to make fun of this,
Right.
which is kind of like the Reddit way.
It is, yeah.
But it also brings up this question of like, how much power does someone like Elon Musk actually
Yeah.
have over a platform like Reddit?
Like, can he really control what people do and say?
Yeah. And it seems like, I mean,
Thank
at
you.
least in this case, the
Yeah.
community's kind of pushed back. And,
They did. And said, no, we're not going to let you dictate.
yeah.
How we do things.
How we do things.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it kind of reminds me of like other protest movements throughout history.
Yeah, like think about like boycotts or strikes.
Exactly, where people are like refusing to participate
Yeah.
in something that they don't agree with.
And it's not always like a violent protest or anything.
Yeah.
It can be something as simple as like refusing to buy a certain product.
Or refusing to use a certain word.
Or refusing to use a certain word. Yeah.
Or a letter in this case.
And in this case, a letter.
Yeah.
But it's still a way of like making your voice heard
Different.
and saying, we're not going to just stand for this.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point.
So it's interesting how like something as small as this
Yeah.
can actually reveal these bigger issues
It is good.
about power and control and like the meaning of symbols.
Yeah, and like how symbols can change.
Yeah, like what does X even mean in this context?
Right. Does it mean Elon Musk?
Does it mean something else?
Does it mean like the future of Reddit?
Like what are they trying to say by banning it?
Right. Are they trying to like erase him from the platform?
Maybe?
Or are they trying to like reclaim the symbol
That's a good
and
question.
give it their own meaning.
That's a really interesting point.
It's kind of like a battle over the meaning of this symbol.
Yeah, it's a symbolic battle,
Yeah.
for sure.
So I think for anyone listening out there,
Yeah.
it's kind of a reminder to like pay attention to the symbols
Mm-hmm.
that you see in your own online spaces.
And think about what they mean.
Yeah, like what do they
You
represent?
get to decide that meaning.
And who has the power to decide what they mean?
It's a good thing to think about.
Because like we've seen with this whole Reddit thing,
Definitely.
symbols can be really powerful.
They can.
And they can be used to control people
Yeah.
or to give people a sense of community
And they can change over time.
or to represent different things to different people.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on.
So I think that's about all the time we have for today.
Okay.
But hopefully this has given you some food for thought.
I hope so.
And maybe next time you see the letter X,
Yeah,
you'll think twice about what it might actually mean.
definitely.
Thanks for listening,
Thanks.
and we'll see you next time.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.